It's Nolan. Ayy, I've been waiting for something for me to snap on. Graduated from the freestyle state with a cap on. Black on, been in my publishing for these rap songs. Making whack nigga back off, let the cash grow. 5 in the morning, I'm up with my baby, no sleeping. Clown niggas, y'all Barnum and Bailey, I'm creeping. Got an army with me, nah, it's a Navy, so y'all better pay me like K-Dot, them arms to be waving. I had a couple brushes with devils, quiet as kelp. I'm charging for air, you boys talk under your breath. God is my witness, he with me, and he counting my steps. So anybody riding with me, y'all should double your bets. I chose W's like Aisha Wilson out this bitch. Nigga argue about the gold, I want a Billy out this bitch. I been counting more cheese like a Philly in this shit. A verse hard white like I'm breaking down a brick. Ratchet on me like the repo man. They done brought me back to life like Encino man. Ran off with the yams like an elope man. I got dealt with the chip, I'm the Frito man. I want millions, Benzes, numbers up senses. Nigga try to count me out, now I want vengeance. 100 rat taught me how to run it back. Clemson, all I do is work in my city, I need pension. Somebody said it'd be disrespectful to rap on it. I'm by business, y'all niggas ain't got the acumen. Immaculate, I've been adamant with these savages. The flow is so extravagant, extrapolating arrogance. Thought ain't even drop yet. Bitch, I got plans too. Nigga wanna scrap about it, bitch, I got hands too. Yeah, man, got a nigga twisted like a can too. I clean them out like shampoo. I pity y'all some damn fools. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Now, in this particular video, I want to go ahead and just make it extremely apparent. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, a lot of different videos being made. Everybody's reacting. Everybody's talking about Joey Badass getting at Kendrick Lamar and the West Coast specifically with the too much West Coast dick licking. But of course, he is the king of the West. He's the current champ. He just showed everybody how to strangle a goat. So of course, there was some shots in Joey Badass's record. The Rule is Back. But I want to go ahead and just let it be known, we're not gonna see no Kendrick Lamar Joey Badass battle. All right. So for anybody out there that's holding their breath, that wants to see it, that feels like this could be interesting, that feels like this could be something for us to come to the square about, I want to go ahead and put a pin in your balloon automatically and say, dog, it's not going to happen. All right? And I've got a few reasons as to why it's not going to happen. All right? Now, you got to understand, Kendrick Lamar is coming off of the biggest rap battle possibly ever in hip hop. We're not talking about he just took out some run of the mill, some rinky dink ass rapper. I know everybody says Drake is lame, Drake is whack, Drake don't write, Drake is this, Drake is that. But let's not forget how that battle had everybody on the edge of our seats. Let's not forget how these niggas was dropping music at any and all times of night, and niggas literally was getting out of bed, coming out of sleep, receiving phone calls, texts, FaceTimes, etc. about what these men were dropping. It takes two primetime candidates in order to create that type of hysteria. Joey Badass is just not that person, okay? I just want to be very clear about this. And it's not that I'm trying to deflate people's energy or anything like that. I just don't feel like the energy is being put to good use. Okay? Gotta be honest. Joey Badass is not that guy. I like Joey Badass. I've probably consumed more Joey Badass music than the average hip hop fan, than the average person that just consumes music and hip hop casually. I'm not that guy. I've been on Joey Badass since he first came out, since that first freestyle Waves. I had that Freddie Joaquin beat before he even jumped on it. So when I heard it, I was like, oh snap, that's dope. Because I had that beat tape that he jumped on. So I'm not here to say Joey Badass is a whack rapper, that he can't spit. And if you saw my first video talking about the subject, then you know I gave him credit. He's dope. He's talented. He's good. He's a good actor. You know what I'm saying? And as far as independent artists go, I think he's had a pretty good career independently. He's been able to do things on his own. He had his own sources of income. He's pretty self-sustained. Kudos and salute to him on that. But he is not a primetime act. Right? When J. Cole dropped his shit initially, We came to the square to see what J. Cole was saying, and it wasn't going to matter if it dropped at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We would have stayed up to see what J. Cole had to say as well, but he bowed out, right? We're not going to dwell on that too long, but I'm just telling y'all the caliber of artists that it would take in order to create that type of excitement. It's not going to be that. It would never be that. And Kendrick is in such a coveted position, although some people are interested in the competition of it all. He's in such a coveted position that if by some strange turn in reality that it happens, there's no way he loses. It don't matter what Joey Badass says, it's going to be discredited because he is the guy. You need somebody. I don't think there's anybody that could really take Kendrick out of his spot, because anytime you say anything against him or you say anything of critique against him, let's say that, you just even like from a non-malicious standpoint, even me as a fan and somebody that loves and supports him, anything that I've said on my channel that was less than he's perfection, it gets tossed out the sky. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine how territorial people would be when it comes to another rapper trying to discredit anything or try to create any sort of narrative about him in any way that would benefit Joey in that battle. It's going to get detested and thrown out. Let's be honest about it. But let's park it and have a conversation anyway, right? So what this has created is, for one, there is somebody that responded to Joey Badass. There's a artist by the name of Lit Papi from Crenshaw, and I thought he was just a random challenger. I thought he just like sprouted out of thin air, you know what I'm saying, like on some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers type shit, just another putty jumping out of the goddamn shuttle and shit. But it come to find out, this guy Lit Papi, he's worked with Glasses Malone, he's worked with AD, he's got support from DJ Sour Milk. I saw a lot of West Coast folks that was like putting some pep in the step behind him, which I was actually pretty surprised by, because I'm like, who is this guy? Never seen him, never heard of him, no nothing. But that's kind of how it is on the West Coast. But he jumped out and he hopped on a Jay-Z beat, friend or foe, and he responded to Joey Badass, because he didn't take it very lightly that homeboy, tried to throw the West Coast as a whole under the bus, saying too much West Coast dick licking. So let's get to somebody who actually did respond to him, and then we're going to have a conversation about the entire landscape of hip hop and why somebody like a Joey Badass just, unfortunately, regardless of how talented he is, how good he is, he will just never be taken seriously on that level. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is not to disparage him. This is just to acknowledge the reality of the situation. Okay? Now, I will say I do think Kendrick responds to him. I'm not saying that he's not going to get a response. But I don't foresee no back and forth battle. I don't give a fuck if Joey Badass gets a response and rebuts that response. I don't see it going past that for numerous reasons. But let's get to this Lit Papi joint first.
Curtis blow ass so how nigga coming through. Frank Lucas cold cuts when I give it to you. Friend of foe, yo, state your biz. Hey, you want it, Joe? Fuck it, there it is. Hey, East Coast niggas gas and mid. But niggas name badass always turn out to be good kids. You fuck with Don Pet, so I like it. But nigga, they call me Lit, so I gotta like you. Nigga, my middle name Leroy, masked about it like Percival. Trying to be merciful, but the mercenary get called. He gotta come through for all you niggas that's mercurial. Don't take this ass for personal. Damn, niggas really fucked it unique. Why'd you even open your mouth? Why did you have to speak? Now that's just incredible. LA nigga gotta make you leak and give your homies a sour face like when they in the Jeep and they hears and Gina views. Gotta deliver news. Tell them old school Flatbush niggas pour out they brews. They just got served. Thought I fuck a little saint. Crips give you niggas blues. I told you we what you ain't. Not like us and they not like me. And I know that shit gon' fuck with they psyche. Them niggas in the trucks that took they Nikes. They don't check in, they check out. This shit to make the haters bow their heads till they pop their motherfucking neck out. Something dope for the people, ask Jeremy Heck bout. Elliot, will you tell these niggas I'm sunning them, gunning them? If these niggas running shit, then how the fuck I'm running them? In they house like a fucking Peloton. Everybody boogie man now, fuck it, I guess I'm Jack Skeleton. Company man giving them melodies, no melodyne. Niggas can fuck with me when the wine don't start selling wine. Nigga, don't you know we robbing Markman just for thinking they geniuses? We Peter Park, Tony Stark in. Niggas find out when it get dark then. Who really lit? Who the killer whale and the shark in this ocean? Niggas shit get deep in the abyss. Mr. Put that shit on, still have them sleep in the piss. Ain't the Dodgers teach you when wild niggas nothing. Turn your goat to mutton. Niggas get jumped and no jumper just for smutting. Order the Sutton. Joey outside with no clothes saying that he pressed the wrong fucking button.
All right, that's Lit Papi with his friend or foe joint aimed at Joey Badass, right? See, I don't think he was ready. Now I see he's getting support. I see a lot of people jumping behind him. They say he's spitting. I feel like this was average, very average. He had some very clever lines in there, but this ain't really a battle record. It sounds like you just going off a stream of consciousness in a certain direction, but where's the quotables? Where's the lines that actually make you think about Joey Badass and his career in the scope of anything? You know what I'm saying? Because when you battle, you're supposed to have some sort of knowledge of your opponent. Like he did say we like Unique from Power, but everybody knows him as Unique. We're not battling with Unique from Power. We're talking about Joey Badass. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of the content creators that he threw in and did the name flips, that was clever. That was smart as well, because that's also going to get them to pay attention to you. You're going to probably get Rob Markman to talk about it for mentioning him. You're probably going to get the company man to possibly mention you. And I say possibly, they may have already done it, because I don't really watch a lot of content creators personally, because when I'm not creating my own content, I'm with my family doing stuff like that, raising my son. So, but there's a strong possibility that all these people would give you at least a listen, at most a mention on their platforms, because you use the name flip of them at a time where media is like at the height, new media, and rap conversation is at the forefront right now as well. And all of that's great. But I didn't walk away with anything that like excited me, right? His voice, I think he has a solid voice, but the way that this was not properly mixed, his voice didn't really stand out from the production of the beat. It's a legendary beat from Jay-Z, DJ Premier. Not everybody's into that style of beat, but I understood why he did it, especially with Joey Badass referencing Jay-Z from the Rulers back to the West Coast dick licking, you know, so he went and found a beat from, you know, that relative time period. Smart move. But he just had a bunch of like, just a bunch of lines. You know what I mean? He said something about the Flatbush niggas in Brooklyn pouring out they brews or something. That was cool. But this is why Kendrick ain't gonna respond. Well, I ain't gonna say Kendrick ain't gonna respond. This is why Kendrick will not battle a Joey Badass. And this is the same reason why Joey Badass is not going to battle Lit Papi. Right? You have to reach a certain benchmark in order to be included in the Gladiator, in the actual Gladiator stadium. Right? Anybody could fight. Anybody could go jump in a prize fight, right? And try to get down. That's not the same as getting into the Gladiator stadium. You got to be something. You got to be somebody. You got to come highly reputed. Somebody has to refer you. You have to be certified, right? In order to actually be in the stadium or the arena or whatever you want to call it. Joey Badass, when it comes to Kendrick, is not that. Kendrick just took out arguably the top ranking artist of all time. And when I say top ranking artist, I'm talking about just in totality of sales, streams, popularity, all that shit. Drake is one of the biggest artists of all time, right? He took down an institution with Drake. He took down a certain ideology. He took down a certain lack of morals, right? He attacked the moral compass. He attacked the institution that would support somebody like a Drake. And he kind of dismantled that whole thing to where Drake is now looked upon as he's still a big artist, but the luster of his photo has been diminished greatly. Even when you see him on the Aiden Raw stream, I'm looking at Drake. He done got his hair cut back. He's kind of transformed back into his, 2020 look when he was still kind of in favor. But he don't look like the same nigga. Like even when he's back to his low cut, clean cut look, it just don't look the same. Right? His skin don't glow the same. You know what I'm saying? Not to be funny, and I don't know, but real shit, his skin don't glow the same. When he laughs, I don't know if he's genuinely laughing or if he's laughing to keep from crying. Like, it's just, he's in a position where everything looks questionable about him. Even when he feels like, I'm good, I'm great. Like, what y'all talking about? I'm enjoying myself. It don't look like he's enjoying himself, right? So if Kendrick Lamar creates that much doubt on an artist that was that massive, that big, had that much support, why would I then come outside to run a fade with you? You're one of the guys I would give a bar or a half a bar. And that might even fuck you up. Might end your career. It could do extreme damage if I decide at this current moment in my life and career, with the amount of favor I have, it's like Goku don't fight every nigga. Some niggas that come across the path, it's like, yo, Gohan, go handle that nigga. Yo, Trunks, go handle that nigga. Shit, Goten, go get your fucking hands dirty. The fuck? Who is you? Now, you make it past my young homie, my sons, we might have a conversation. But I'm finna go train. I'm going back to the hyperbolic chamber, nigga. Fuck out of here. Call me when it's gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing this, brother. That's Kendrick's position when it comes to a Joey Badass. I think Joey gets a response because when other rappers have said slick shit about Kendrick in the past, he ain't gonna dedicate no whole record to you, but he has responded on records. You get what I'm saying? But if you're not even in the top 50 rankings of rappers or in hip hop, what makes you think I'm gonna come exert actual energy on y'all? You get what I'm saying? So here's the thing. Joey is on a comeback, so he calls it. The ruler's back. I don't know who was expecting him or looking for him to come back, but I'm glad that he's feeling good and jumping into space and getting back to music. I mean, that's always great, right? And I'll be listening to whatever it is that he drops, album, mixtape, whatever. This is no diss to Joey, although I'm sure people that love Joey would perceive it that way. I really have nothing against him other than the fact that he's not a worthy opponent. Okay? So, if y'all can remember, those of y'all that were actually here last year at the height of the battle, Y'all remember when everything was over, right? Not Like Us had taken over the game. Drake dropped the Heart Part 6, and we knew from the moment that dropped, the fight was over. Next thing you know, artists that had already been like wanting to drop music, they started putting their releases back on the board. And for a good 2 to 3 months, I kept saying, yo, I'm not enthused by none of this music that's dropping. I'm trying to give y'all my most lenient opinions, to give everybody credit based on their merit, based on their output, and not looking at it through my like super hip hop lens. Because if I give everybody my super hip hop lens, nobody really cuts the mustard, because the competitive edge in rap has not been here. And some say they like that Joey Badass came out with competitive energy. I don't feel like he came out with competitive energy. I feel like he threw a competitive line out there, but the energy on that song was run of the mill. It was boring. It was like a Sunday afternoon cleanup song, if you ask me. I didn't feel the energy. I felt the intention, but I didn't feel actual energy. Right? So you're trying to use Kendrick to jumpstart your movement for 2025, which, hey, you could try it, but it's not a winning strategy. Trying to use Kendrick Lamar as a source of energy to revive New York, right? To be a New York rapper waving the flag, too much West Coast dick licking, that is also a siren for New York to come support you. Okay, yeah, let's get behind Joey. He's taking a stand. Yeah, fuck that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the people on the East Coast, they've already been complaining. They like, man, GNX ain't for me. I ain't trying to hear that fucking West Coast shit. I ain't trying to hear that Bay Area shit. I ain't trying to hear that yeehaw, all that type of shit he on, right? That shit ain't got no replay value for them. And I'm talking about the East Coast people that are coming out and saying it. Not to say that that's the entire East Coast. I know, because I see y'all in my chat. They'll be like, nah, I'm out here in Jersey. I'm out here in Delaware. I'm out here in New York. I'm out here in the Bronx. I'm bumping that shit. I understand. But I'm talking about those that have come out and been vocal about their displeasure of the sound or whatever, right? So it's like, for those people, they're looking for a voice that's going to represent them, which is why I think some of the people, that are backing Joey Badass really ain't super fans of him anyway. But it's like, shit, I'm going to back him because he said what I was thinking. It's too much of this West Coast energy going on. It's too much of y'all acting like y'all care about these West Coast artists. Y'all really don't give a fuck about these niggas. Stop giving them so much fucking credit. God damn. That's how they feel. So when Joey says that line, he puts the siren out. Yeah, it's time. Boy, stop. You know what I'm saying? You can be competitive in hip hop without battling. You could be competitive in hip hop by putting some bass in your voice, by coming out and making a record that's actually gonna put you on the map. That's why I said you should have came out with Mount Olympus energy, right? Because it's not about me going up against anybody in particular. It's about me going up against the people that don't see me as a valid competitor to begin with. The landscape of hip hop that's keeping you out of the loop anyway. Even when you do come back outside, you got to get their attention. You got to get our attention. You got to drop something that is going to captivate an audience to say, oh shit, Joey Badass is in that mode. The Ruler's Back was not in that mode, bro. Every New York rapper could make that song. There was nothing special about it. He had like 2 lines that was like, okay, that could be aimed at Kendrick and got us talking. But that's why it got us talking. There was not enough. Where's the if you threw a hook, where's the follow-up? Was that your hardest punch? Nah, dog. So let's look at it this way. Because competitive rap has kind of been ousted. It's kind of been moved and othered in hip hop. right? So let's look at the last 15 years of hip hop, right? We got content. We got content with Kendrick, Cole, and sometimes Drake being like the torch bearers of like mainstream artists that's lyrical, right? And they were the big three. They were the guys carrying the torch. We knew that they were going to give us something, moments with every album. And we knew that whenever the game got boring with everybody else that was in the field, we could depend on them to give us something, right? Kendrick and Cole, we knew that they were going to give us quality. They were going to give us, well thought out, cohesive projects, intentionality. Every word means something. And then with Drake, you expect summer music, bops, you know what I'm saying? But within the album, you could expect a couple gems, right? Where it's like, okay, he's rapping on this one, he's rapping on this one, he's rapping on this one. And the rest of it's gonna be, depending on who his current muse is, who he wants to like morph into. But he was like the biggest representation of like the pop, hip hop, rap, gumbo. You know what I'm saying? Because if he wanted to get in super rap mode, he knew how to like take on a style that could be in that space too, right? And that's just me giving all kudos and credit here. You know what I'm saying? All things music. Okay? And some people would say, well, that's probably due to his writers. Okay, but what we knew is he was in that conversation and he was gonna, if shit got too boring, Drake could give you something that could like energize the people. It may not have been your taste, but it got people going, right? Cool. Then you got the next round of artists, that's kind of like they not there, but they're a level below. We know who they are. Big Sean, Wale. We also had people like an aging Lil Wayne who's still in the conversation, but he's kind of been relegated to a feature artist. We don't really look out for Wayne's solo projects because we don't get that many of them anyway. Cool. Then we got content with like the female bracket. We got Nicki, we got Megan, we got Cardi, we got Doja, we got Lotto, right? You got these artists that, for the most part, they're talented. They can drop bops. They could drop summertime records, club bangers. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get out on stage at the award shows. They're gonna do their shit, and they'll show you glimpses of like lyrical ability as well. So they were like the balance. They were like, if you want to throw, you could take Cardi out of that from like the lyrical standpoint. She's more of like getting the people hyped. But you got the Nicki, you got Megan, you got Doja, you got Lotto, who they're lyricists that make mainstream music, right? Cool. So then, and I'm not mentioning Doechii because we're talking about basically a landscape that predates her landmark 2024, right? So then, the next round of artists you got is like the melodic trap niggas, the Futures, the Rod Waves, the Lil Durks, the Young Thugs. You throw Gunna in there too. 21 Savage, more of a direct trap, not so much melodic, but he had Drake collabs that put him in a more melodic, more poppy space at times, right? So these are the artists that they still sell records. They could drop at any given time, probably sell 100K plus. They're going to have big singles, and they kind of, these probably 12 to 15 artists that I've named were pretty much the light bearers in hip hop, and everybody else below them is underground. That's where Joey Badass falls in the ranking, which is why I say he's not top 50 in hip hop, right? So then in that so-called underground wave, you got some artists that can actually put some shit on the board, but they're not really making hits, right? And you also will have like your viral joints. You'll have your artists that can make like your dancey joints, your catchy joints. You know what I'm saying? And they could build careers off of that shit, right? sales, stream, touring, podcast, brand deals, all this stuff. They're not stars, but they're, they're known, and they give you a few bops a year, and then they go back into their cocoon or what have you. But then there's like that underground thing, you know what I'm saying? And when I say underground, I'm talking about like Tyler is above ground. He's kind of pushing. They say he took Cole's spot in the big three. I don't agree with that, but I'll put him in the starting five. Right? But for a while he was kind of functioning as like this other. You know what I mean? He wasn't getting the opportunities. Like when he did get the Grammy and stuff like that, you had Khaled and people that tried to like slight his contribution to the game. So he wasn't really being embraced. Like 2024 saw him being like embraced. 2023, 22, or whenever that Call Me When You Get Lost shit, it was like the beginning of him being embraced because he started performing at the award shows, the black award shows, and like showing like, yo, I am hip hop, nigga. Because before that, when he got the hip hop Grammy for Igor, he was like, that's not even a rap album. Right? So then he comes and embraces, all right, nigga, let's get to the bars for a couple years. Now he's getting embraced. I'll give him that. You got artists like Jid. You got artists like Denzel Curry, Token. Some people don't fuck with Token, whatever, but he's an artist that's in that lyrical underground sphere that makes big records and catches one a few times a year whenever he is in season, right? Joey Badass is in that class. Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa. In recent years, you got people like Big X the Plug, who's kind of merged his way in there. You got Grip from Atlanta, who signed to Eminem and can do some shit, but he's kind of on the lower side. You got Saba from Chicago. You got Kenny Mason. You got Smino. You got Sahai. You got all these class of artists that we know, for the most part, they're good lyricists. They make good projects. They tour. They move about. They get their opportunities when the opportunities are in abundance, and then they may go on a slow season and come back next year. They may even get hundreds of thousands of views on their music videos, sometimes even millions of views on their music videos, but they're not typically in the conversation to like threaten what's going on with the big three or anybody in between, right? And that's where Joey Badass falls. And he hasn't gone to war with nobody in his actual class. So how could he possibly go to war with a Kendrick Lamar? It doesn't equate. It doesn't make any sense. Right? I think there was a moment people wanted to try to throw Chance and Joey against each other, but they were cool. They were friends. So, and they're still friends. Vic and Chance were friends. They had beef, but it was like personal beef. Right? So there's no way that matchup ever makes sense. But if you ever wanted to come out of those rankings, you would have to put out music that is ready to compete. And again, you don't have to diss nobody to compete. It's all about the energy. It's about the production you choose. It's about the energy. It's about the bass you put in your voice, how much conviction you rapping with, and not just how you rap it in the booth, but when you do your music videos, when you come outside, when people see you, do you look like somebody that could actually be upgraded to the gladiator arena? Because if people don't take you serious as a gladiator and you're not lyrically giving us that vibe, no matter, and musically giving us that vibe, I want to say the totality of the music, because lyrically, Joey is going to pop shit, but the music be sounding a little too jazzy. It be sounding a little too calm. It be sounding, you know what I mean? We're not doing that shit. You're going to have to come out and put some points on the board. You're going to have to show us that you can not only compete lyrically, but that you have diversity in your sound, that you can make music that the average person is going to take serious as well, because why would I take the battle serious if I don't even take your music serious? And I'm talking about the general consensus, not the underground, right? You got to be people have to perceive you as a threat. Homie is not a threat. Okay? Then you look at Joey Badass in relation to New York rap, right? There's never been a season or a year where Joey Badass was the top contender coming out of New York. So you're not even the biggest dog in your own junkyard. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was a time when Troy Ave was being taken seriously. He was being looked upon as potentially another 50 Cent coming out of New York. He was like on that how to rob energy. He was popping shit. He was calling niggas weirdos. He called fucking Joey Badass a weirdo. He called Kendrick Lamar a weirdo at one point in time. He wore out his welcome, but there was a time when Troy Ave was even more so the bigger dog than a Joey Badass, right? There was an era of Dave East, right? Dave East came out and he was kind of like a great value J. Cole, but he had New York swag. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, we seeing what's going on. Signed with Nas, got that Nas support, helped. He catapulted himself above what Joey Badass was doing for a moment in time, right? He's kind of like comfortable. He went in, they both did the Wu-Tang show. They both, you know what I mean, got their props, got their love from the legends. But if I say Dave East in a room and I say Joey Badass in a room of casuals, I think more people would probably know who Dave East is over Joey. Just going to be honest, unless we're talking about power. And then you say, Unique from Power. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember. I fuck with him. He does music. Damn. Right? There was the moment when Pop Smoke was the nigga from New York. Rest in peace. He was more on the drill side. I don't take drill rap serious, but he was big enough to like bring legitimacy to that New York drill shit to where he had transcended that shit immediately. Like everybody else was his sons while he was living. Right? Was he a better rapper than Joey Badass? Absolutely not. But he was New York's bet for that time period before he was killed. Even a Tekashi 6ix9ine never took him seriously. He's always been a joke. But even he had more support at one point in New York than Joey Badass. And that's pretty embarrassing. 5-Yo Foreign had a moment. You know what I'm saying? He linked with Ye. He linked with some of the biggest artists. He got love from Nicki. He got love from some of the bigger people in the game. He had a moment. He didn't capitalize on his moment very well, but he was even taken serious to a certain level that Joey Badass as a artist never has. Even Casanova, before he got locked up, he had that 50 energy too. He was fucking with 50. He was fucking with Bleak. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the New York legends was behind him. He sounded like another version of Uncle Murder to me. But people took him serious more so than a Joey Badass. I think Joey has always been looked at as like, unfortunately, just a backpack nigga. Like, I think people like him. People respect him. But they never put him on that pedestal. Like, he's just a backpack nigga from around the way. Fuck with him, though. So if you're not even the top dog in your own territory, you can't call no shots in your own space, how are you going to jump out and try to take on the West Coast, throw shots at a whole coast, and possibly take on a Kendrick Lamar who just neutralized an entire institution and made J. Cole bow down? It don't work like that. Now, as to why I think Kendrick will at least respond with a bar or two and move on with his life, because classically, Kendrick has responded to a lot of people that have played with his name. When Shine said Good Kid, Mad City was whack, right? He responded, dumping out the roof. You know what I'm saying? He might have joked about the situation, but it created a response record and energy, and he threw I heard what you said out there, moved on with life, right? When Jay Electronica said Kendrick was overhyped, he called Kendrick his son. Kendrick responded on Untitled Unmastered, Untitled 07. He had some bars for Jay Electronica. Let's pull up what he had to say. I'm playing an acapella, not the actual song due to copyright reasons, but here's what he had to say.
I feel like Pacino and Godfather, I'm charged. Our father to ride in heaven, Kendrick enlarged. Came in the game with a plan of beating the odds. What an accomplishment. Broken promises kept my focus anonymous till I dealt with the consequence. The greatest, the latest mogul, you know what time it is. You niggas fear me like y'all fear God. You sound frantic, I hear panic in your voice. Just know the mechanics of making your choice and writing your bars. Before you poke out your chest, loosen your bra. Before you step out of line and dance with a star. I can never end a career if it never start. The murderous capital avenues looking like evil dead zombies with batteries to the head.
So he threw a couple in his direction, right? Before you poke out your chest, loosen your bra. Like get out your feelings, use a bitch, right? Basically in so many words. And then he says, I can never end a career if it never start, because Jay Electronica at the time still had never put out a debut album. He still was like living off the hype of Exhibit C, Exhibit B, Exhibit A. That nigga was just a science exhibit ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? Had a bunch of classic joints, but he had never like really put that full effort forth. So for you to be coming out talking about, I'm your son, nigga, are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? I respect your pen, but you got me fucked up. But I can't end your career if it never really started. You never really got out the driveway, nigga. Be fucking clear. Niggas say you a nice car, but we ain't seen you out the driveway yet, homie. So he responded, right? Big Sean comes out, starts talking outside his neck. He says, hey, man, just because niggas is out here rapping fast don't mean that they dope. Kendrick looks up and says, oh, that's how you feel? I ain't going to all out dish you, but I'll give you some attention. So on Humble, he took Big Sean's little bitch ad lib and used it against him, the whole songs. Shut up, bitch. Hold up, little bitch. Sit down, little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, are you crazy? Not to mention the second verse on there. Who that nigga thinking that he fronting on, man? Get the fuck off my stage. I'm the Sandman. Get the fuck off my dick. That ain't right. I'll make a play fucking up your whole life. Like he didn't come out and battle him. He didn't say nothing like super scathing, but he let him know, I heard what you said, and I will make a play fucking up your whole life if this is what you want, right? Even on Element, there was lines on there, veiled shot at both him and Drake. You know, he didn't go as hard at Sean as he went at Drake. Of course, there's that other verse, was it Tranquilizer or some shit, that had certain elements of Element in it originally that was a little bit more geared at Sean, but we didn't actually hear that when it was supposed to come out. It didn't come out the way it was supposed to. You're finally famous for who you date, not the way you rhyme and all that different shit. But by the time all of that shit happened, I think they were supposed to have been, you know, cool behind the scenes, but it was just playing out in real time. Not to mention, what was that, the Heart Part 4? There was warnings on the Heart Part 4 too. So niggas say things. Kendrick don't just go out and you know, go to the playground at recess. He responds, but I'm not finna battle you niggas. Are you crazy? Why would I take time out of my life to do that? Right? So, do I think that he's gonna respond? Yes, I do. When? I don't know, right? Because they say there's another album coming. We don't know if that album is coming anytime soon. It could drop around Super Bowl. It could come later this year, right? Because Kendrick could, let's be honest, he's gearing up for the Super Bowl, which Super Bowl requires a lot of rehearsal. You know, I think Usher came out and told people, you know, how he was rehearsing daily for the Super Bowl and whatnot behind the scenes. So there's a lot of work that goes into that, a lot of logistics, a lot of different moving parts that go into the Super Bowl performance, right? Then He's also preparing for his own tour. He's got a whole new album out, all new songs that were made last year in the midst of everything happening. So that means that these are fresh bars. This isn't music that he's been sitting on, that he's had the time to perfect and get everything memorized from front to back. So he's taking time out to make sure that he's got all of that in the chamber so that when he goes on tour, he's actually able to perform those records comfortably. So I don't see Kendrick being as outside as some people might assume he is. Because he's really locked in on executing his plan, and going on a side quest for Joey Badass just doesn't seem like doesn't rank in priority. Right? So I think this is a false alarm. It's interesting, it's cool chatter. But it's not going to happen to the degree that people think it's going to happen. He will get a response. But even if Joey Badass comes back with a rebuttal to his 2-bar response, we're not going to see them come to the square and battle it out for supremacy. It's not going to happen. Y'all niggas can cancel Christmas if you want to. It'll never come. Okay? And again, I don't see Joey Badass going at Lit Papi. I don't see that being something he wants to take time out of his schedule to do either, because he's got other shit going on. He's probably in his own album mode. Why would he come out and go back and forth with an artist that nobody really knew about until he mentioned his name? That would give him a little bit extra clout. That would give him enough firepower and hype to then drop a project of his own that people might actually go check for. Not finna give you that type of recognition, you know? So I think all of this is a big nothing burger. You know, it may taste good, but we're really eating with bruh man on the 5th floor with a wish sandwich. So that's my assessment of the situation. I don't see it happening. Okay? Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.